Live from London, it's your daily update on the wonderful world of the Europa and Champions Leagues. Here we are in sunny Stratford, ahoy there. It's Club 2020 Daily. We've quite literally got our name on the cup. Today, we're going to be talking about the Europa League and Champions League finals coming up over the next few days, and also the Women's Champions League quarter-finals, which get underway tomorrow in northern Spain. We've got Lucy Bronze of the Lionesses and European champions Lyon joining us, Chelsea Grimes as well, other guests too, and most importantly, you're here. So let's get underway then with our two finalists now sorted for Sunday.
We're down to the last four teams, two from France and two from Germany. It's taken by Angel Di Maria and glanced in by Marquinhos. It's going to fall here for Di Maria, and they take the price. There's the cross, there's the match. Paris Saint-Germain are into the final. The superstars have finally delivered when it really matters. It's a really interesting ball from the middle to Memphis Depay, and it's rattled the outside of the post. It's a great chance of it in the post. Gnabry on the move. Oh, that's sensational! That is absolutely brilliant from Serge Gnabry. How on earth did that not go in? It's in now. Serge Gnabry and the double. And here's the opportunity for Lyon. Brilliant save by Neuer. Lewandowski gets his customary goal. And the big red Bavarian machine rolls relentlessly towards Sunday's final.
Well, indeed, they do. There you can see on the blue side of your screen, Sunday's Champions League final will be Paris Saint-Germain against Bayern Munich. Very tasty indeed, as is Friday's clash in the Europa League, as five-times winner Sevilla try and make it sixth against a pretty awesome-looking Inter Milan. We'll be talking about those games later on and so much more, as I was mentioning too, because we've got a women's footballer and so many other things. What? Singer-songwriter, TV presenter, other stuff too. Chelsea Grimes with us.
Hello, how are you? You okay?
I'm very well, Chelsea. Last time we spoke, you were busy using lockdown to go to #1 in Korea.
Yeah, I done a few songs over lockdown, so it was a bit of a weird one for me as a songwriter. I'm usually in sessions, and that couldn't happen, so it was all done remotely. But yeah, I had a bit of success out there.
How much success, Chelsea?
I think that one, it was a girl called Taeyeon, who's like a massive star out there. I think it went to #1 in 16 countries out there. So,
all right,
yeah.
well, better luck next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. All right, and how's the playing career going alongside all of this?
Very good. I'm quite impulsive, so over lockdown I bought a house and moved back to Liverpool. So I was playing at Fulham for the past 2 seasons, and I'm on trial at Tranmere, and also I might be going over to Liverpool for a trial there. So I'm just seeing where I feel comfortable, yeah. But I've got 2 and 2 for Tranmere. I scored the past 2 games, so I'm on a bit of a roll there. Outstanding.
Did you see last night's game? I assume you did.
I did. I brought my mother up for the weekend, for the week in London, and we watched it in a drive-through cinema. So, yeah.
Where was that?
It was up in Stratford, actually.
And everyone just drove their cars in and watched?
Yeah, drive in, big screen, great view, and yeah, it was really good way to watch it now, considering, you know, fans can't be in the ground, so different.
Right. Check it out. Let's have a quick look at what the papers are saying this morning. Of course, the big news for many of them was Bayern Munich's 3-0 win over Lyon. Guardian go with power surge, blast Bayern into final, because, of course, Serge Gnabry, very much the hero with a brace there. What have the eye gone with? Oh, look, it's power surge. Double from Gnabry helps send Bayern to final date with PSG, indeed. So, other stories. Well, the Times has this, man with brolly, but up here, crowd back at Wembley in October. FA wants England fans to return for triple header, and it's the same story all over the back of the Daily Mirror. Triple crowd, they go with. England fans could be allowed for a Wembley return. October the 8th against Wales, October the 11th against Belgium, and October 14th against Denmark. Now, while all that's going on, oh, look at the bottom of your screen, Premier League fixtures for the new season. Of course, they were announced at 9 o'clock this morning. Opening round, we don't know the exact timings yet, but it does feature, as you can see there, champions Liverpool welcoming Leeds back to the top flight. What you won't see there in those fixtures, of course, are any games for the Manchester clubs, because City and United, they have their mandatory 30 days off after all their European exertions. Can't say the same for the rest of us. Always keen to get your thoughts on today's show and any questions you might have, and also your views on today's poll. Hashtag Club 2020 on Twitter, or you can answer on our YouTube page. The question being today, which Bayern Munich team is better? The treble-winning side of 2012-13 or the treble-chasing side of 2019-20? My word. I wonder what you're going to say to that. We'll have the results in the course of today's show. Right now, though, speaking of Bayern, let's get back to last night in Lisbon. It was a great Bayern for Hansi Flick. It was good Bayern for Lyon. And there to get the reaction from winners and losers alike was Des Kelly.
And then there were two. Bayern Munich are into the final.
It must feel a little bit like fantasy football at the moment. Everything's going your way.
Yeah, it feels good. We're happy we can make it to the finals. You know, we know our opponent we're playing is PSG. You know, they're a good team. So we just want to go out there, you know. Right now, you know, we celebrate a little bit, but, you know, afterwards we focus on the next game.
That first goal you scored, is that one of the best you've struck, that left footer, top corner?
One of the most important, I would say. It looked like we were struggling a little bit, and the goal came at the right time.
Do you remember the days when you couldn't get so many games at West Brom when you were loaned out to Arsenal? Do you think back on those days now?
I think there will always be something I look back at and get a lot of, I would say, being proud of now about the way that I've come, and yeah, being here in the Champions League final a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have thought that. And now we're here.
You've been monsters in this competition. I think you're the first club ever in the Champions League to do 10 straight victories.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a dream come true, actually. You know, playing Champions League, you know, making it to the finals is everything you can ask for.
Rudy, it's the end of the road. How do you sum up tonight?
We made two huge results again in Juventus and City, but we can't be able tonight to do the third, but we can be proud.
Can you keep this side together, build on this success?
When you play Champions League, you are with the best team. We need to do well now in our league because we want to come back in Champions League next season.
But next, of course, you've got Neymar and Mbappe. That's another fantastic head-to-head.
This is what you dream of as a footballer, you know, playing with the best against the best, you know, in Europe, and we're able to do that, so I'm excited.
We're having a good run so far, and I think Sunday we try to put icing on the top and win that game, and then obviously history hopefully will be done.
Well, we'll see on Sunday. It is a fascinating clash, and as we have a little look back on last night and a little bit forward to Sunday, we're joined now by the chief football correspondent for the New York Times, Rory Smith. Hello, Rory.
Morning, James.
Hey, Rory.
Rory,
Morning,
Chelsea, Rory. Lovely stuff. Bayern last night, so impressive, with one or two caveats, which I'm sure we'll get on to, but their 20th straight win. What did you make of their performance against Lyon?
Yeah, I thought they looked kind of imposing going forward as they have done since Flick took charge in November. Really, as you say, there's a couple of weaknesses at the back that I think Neymar and Mbappe might be looking at and thinking, all right, we can maybe hurt them there. Lyon created quite a lot of chances. They could have gone ahead before Serge Gnabry's brilliant first goal, and I think after the second, particularly, they did kind of come back. It didn't feel like the same sort of performance as Leipzig against PSG, who kind of just wilted a little bit, and it was a slightly kind of meek surrender. Lyon asked questions of Bayern. And I think PSG might look at that and wonder whether they can ask questions and find better answers.
Right. Pretty hard to have any questions about this.
Yeah, great goal. I think I actually missed that last night. It just seemed to come from nowhere. But again, that kind of looked like my goal at the weekend, actually. Little tap-in.
But even that tap-in, he'd done so much work to even set up.
Right place, right time. I just think, you know, after watching them absolutely demolish Barcelona, I was like, they look scary as a side. I think even you're talking about there is weaknesses at the back, but they're so quick. You know, we were seeing last night, they were two centre-backs were just being fine. OK, we'll have you two. And they're confident enough to play like that. I don't know. I think I'm backing Bayern, I think.
It's a good position to have. You missed it last night, so let's look at Gnabry's opening goal again, because it was astonishing. I mean, what impresses you most about this, Chelsea? I
mean, obviously, he's cutting in there. He's ran past about, how many players are around him? 4, and he still manages to ping it top corner.
With his weaker foot.
Yeah, I think he's great. I mean, like we just seen in an interview, he couldn't even get in the West Brom team a few years ago. So to be the start of the show in a semi-final, going into Champions League final, you know, he's doing all right, isn't he?
Left foot turned up today, boy, as Serge put it afterwards. Fantastic stuff. It is the story that's powered 1,000 banter-filled meme tweets, etc., Rory, the business of how he didn't make it into Tony Pulis's Baggies side. But, of course, Arsenal fans as well kicking themselves once again this morning about the fact that they let him go for about $5 million. He's 100% the star of this team.
Yeah, he's really stepped up, given that this is a team that's still kind of in transition, or we thought was still in transition from the days of Robben and Ribéry, that Gnabry's come through. And I suspect when they added him to the first-team squad after that loan spell at Hoffenheim, I suspect there'd have been plenty of Bayern fans thinking, I'm not quite sure whether he's at that level. But his development has been astonishing. And what Flick seems to have done that Niko Kovac couldn't is kind of unleash him in attack. I think Kovac talked to him a lot about his defensive duties. And I don't want to be hypercritical, but you wonder whether maybe a tackle might have come in from Lyon on that first goal last night, whether someone could have tried to tackle him. But Flick's, I think, encouraged him to kind of think of what he can do with the ball rather than filling his head too much with these are your counter-pressing positions. And that seems to have really kind of taken him to another level. And he now looks like...
He's confident.
Well, to be honest... Yeah, he's kind of the danger. He's the danger man on the counter particularly, and he's got that understanding with Lewandowski. He follows in, as you saw for the second goal. He looks like a kind of complete modern winner, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it is about confidence, though. Like you see there, he's confident enough now to left lie on his left foot, where, maybe under Tony Pulis, he was, it's just about, he looks like a guy who's playing with confidence. And I think, if that comes from your manager as a player and you know that the manager's believing in you, then it makes you want to take shots like that. And, yeah, he just looks great.
9 goals in 9, I think, for him in the Champions League. He's still got a way to match his teammate Robert Lewandowski, who's on extraordinary figures for this year. 55 goals in all competitions, but in the Champions League he's now on 15 with the header, the third goal last night. 2 goals away from Cristiano Ronaldo's all-time figure in the Champions League for one season. And, of course, he's had fewer fixtures in which to do it. Bayern, equally, with fewer fixtures, are not far off getting the all-time scoring the all-time team scoring figure for a single season. They are currently averaging in the Champions League this season 4.2 goals a game. It's ridiculous.
Scary. Yeah, they take the chance. I mean, they missed a few last night, to be fair. You just spoke about Robert Lewandowski there. He missed a few last night, but he's just great, isn't he? I think you put the ball in and you've got a good chance that he might get on the end of it, Scary good, yeah.
He didn't miss as many as Lyon did, though. And, Rory, this is something you picked up on before. The way that the game could have been different had they had these early chances before Serge Gnabry had scored that opening goal.
Depay.
Yeah, there's Depay there and the Toko Ekambi hitting the post, which was it feels harsh for that to not be counted even as a shot on target. But it was kind of Lyon seemed to have an idea of how to expose Bayern at the back just a little bit. They almost lacked that final quality, that final kind of killer instinct to take those chances, and they paid.
He missed another one, this one. This has got to be a goal semi-final, I think. Put it on a plate for him. Neuer, amazing, good save, but that's got to be a goal for me, I think.
Well, now this is the thing, because every time we see Bayern play at the moment, certainly it was true against Barcelona, we think, well, yeah, they're great going forward, but that high line, they keep giving away chances. Someone's going to make them pay. But obviously they're doing something as well. Is it coincidence that everyone has a bad day against them? Or are Bayern, Neuer, for example, are they playing a big part in making these strikers miss? I
think it's, it's obviously your one-on-one with Neuer. He's a scary keeper. He's a big guy. I think, I'm saying it's got to be a goal, but like I said, he's a big cat in net. But I don't know. Bayern Munich, they're still fast at the back, Yeah. You're talking about PSG, obviously, Neymar and Mbappe, they're fast players, but they were quick last night. But even when the ball goes through, they look like they're going to make the legs, make the run back. But listen, I think PSG might score, but I think they play such high. Right. They've got so much danger up front. Bayern, just like you said, four goals a game nearly, so. Yeah.
We saw Moussa Dembele's tweet there, frustrated and sad tonight. It was doable. They could have done it. Instead, they go home from last night's semi-final. And Des asking the question, how many of their players will still be there next season? But we move our attention now to the final. Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea saying Mbappe, Neymar, 2 of the fastest around, 2 of the deadliest strikers around. And what are they going to do if they're presented with those kind of chances? The thing is, we keep saying this, Rory, and that's now 10 wins out of 10 for Bayern in the Champions League. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think they have to take those risks in defence to play like they do in attack. I think it's all about that high line, pressing the play, making sure they're kind of on the front foot at all times. That's clearly a kind of risk they're prepared to run. You don't want to kind of jinx it, do you? But if you look at the way both teams go forward, this is going to be a belter. It's going to be a brilliant final. Like it is. There's questions to be asked, and I think it's really important we do kind of acknowledge them about kind of why PSG are here and quite what that project is to Qatar. That shouldn't be ignored. But in a purely footballing sense, you've got 2 teams who are brilliant going forward, 2 teams who are slightly flawed at the back. Champions of both countries, I think the first time since 1998, since 2 national champions are meeting in the Champions League final. it really, I mean, I'm quite excited, and it's like 3 days away.
Right. And actually, just touching briefly on that point, when you mentioned the background to PSG and that the money that's driven and where that money comes from, and the money that's driven their success, the fact that they've made the two most expensive signings of all time in Mbappe and Neymar back-to-back, when you look at Bayern, what's almost as extraordinary about their status right now is the fact they've done it by spending very, very little.
Yeah, in terms of wages, they pay pretty well. No one's going hungry at Bayern Munich, but in terms of the transfer fees, they have this policy where they tend to look young, they tend to look in Germany, and they tend to be quite smart about how they target players who are kind of nearing the end of their contracts almost. So they kind of have their rival clubs over a barrel a little bit. Right. They're not built on the cheap, but PSG is on another level in terms of the expenditure that they've put out. You know, the two most expensive players in history. Neymar doubled the world transfer record when he went, and then they went and signed Mbappe on loan initially a few weeks later. It is a side that has been built at exorbitant cost to win the Champions League. And to be honest, it's probably taken a little bit longer than QSI, the owner of the club, would have wanted.
Right.
But that does come with questions about what the purpose of the project is, I think.
OK, well, we'll see if they manage to succeed this Sunday. Meantime, we were seeing Moussa Dembele's frustration. He wasn't the only Lyon player getting frustrated yesterday. It was a bad day for the club. They were also involved in the UEFA Youth League. They were taking on Salzburg. 0-0. They got a penalty, but look, the keeper saves it, Salzburg keeper. But, oh, my word, he came off his line. Luckily enough, the referee says you can retake it. So Florent de Silva has... Oh, no, the keeper saved it again. But I think he came off his line. Yes, the referee says that Florent de Silva will have a third go. Third time lucky.
Oh.
Poor old Florent de Silva.
Yeah,
that was at 0-0. They went on to lose 4-3 and crash out of the UEFA Youth Cup. All right, anyway, Bayern beating the men's senior team yesterday. Let's hear how that Bayern victory went down in Germany. Archie Rintut is in Cologne with German journalist James Thorogood.
James, thank you. Welcome to Cologne and welcome to Aachen-Avaya, one of the best places to hang out on a summer's afternoon. Shame about the weather today, but no shame at all in Bayern Munich's result last night, through to another Champions League final, their first in 7 years now it is. James Thorogood, local football journalist. Let's talk about what the papers here are saying this morning. What have you got over there?
Well, we've got one man who has taken the spotlight, and that is Serge Gnabry. Merci Gnabry is the headline in Bild, thanking him for his brace last night that helped get them through, and saying that it will be tougher against Tuchel's men. Kicker have focused on the same player as well, and surprisingly in the German press, Archie, no references to Tony Pulis.
Okay.
But, however, Gnabry is stirring things up for the title ahead of Sunday's match.
That's my favourite one, though.
This is one of my favourites as well, I have to say. So on Sunday, Tuchel is going to get flicked away. So Hansi Flick is the man in charge of Bayern. There's a lot of pride about the fact that there are two German head coaches. And, yeah, on Sunday, Tuchel is the next to be flicked.
The most colourful thing we could find, though, in the newsagents was this from Elf Freunde. You might see the little play on Never Mind the Buzzcocks. Never mind the Geisterspieler, which means, James...
Never mind the ghost games.
Good.
Here's the Bundesliga.
But we know what's going to happen in the Bundesliga. Bayern will win that. They might even complete a treble if they're able to beat PSG on Sunday. Just quickly, though, what's the mood like in Cologne, would you say, about the Europa League final tomorrow, Inter against Sevilla?
Well, there's a big buzz, if you can't tell, in the city that there is a European final here. But I think a lot of people are expecting, as they do in Cologne, to back the underdogs. And I think that's Inter on Sunday.
Less buzz around here, more geese. I'm a little bit worried about them. James, thank you. James.
Many thanks, Archie. We've seen some wide-open legs in European football this season, but none to match yours there. There you go. That's the Europa League final that awaits us on Friday. Sevilla, who put out the favourites Man United, and then Inter, who absolutely destroyed Shakhtar 5-0. Remarkable stuff. Rory, Inter, they've not done a lot since they won the Champions League in 2010. They've been, well, not so much sleeping giants as kind of permanently narcoleptic. Every time you think they're going to do something, off they go into another doze. This time around, they really look wide underwake under Antonio Conte.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear Archie and James describe them as the underdogs. I mean, they finished second in Serie A. I know that that was a last-day turnaround. And they've looked superb, really, against a good Leverkusen team and then destroying Shakhtar. They've got Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku, who I think can trouble any defence in the world. Conte's an excellent coach. I'm not quite sure we should be writing Inter off, to be honest. I know Sevilla have got this incredible relationship with the Europa League, but Inter almost on paper, have the threats to do quite severe damage, I think.
Severe damage, yeah. Severe as well, I think, in my mind, should come into this as underdogs.
That was great, I like that.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm here all week. So, Sevilla, though, I mean, when you look at the two teams, I quite agree. The way they stack up the squads and that, they don't look as strong as Inter Milan. And certainly, when you check out the way they got past Man United, a great goal there from your friend Suso there, Chelsea.
He done us a favour there.
But equally, they did also require some particularly bizarre defending for the winning goal.
Yeah, it's
non-defending.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that all 4 players failed to do anything is fairly impressive, I think. The Sevilla are a great team. They're a really good team, and they've been towards the top of La Liga all season. They'll be back in the Champions League. They are brilliant at this competition. There's Ever Banega, who I think is kind of a player who loves the Europa League more than anybody has ever loved the Europa League. But you look through Inter's team, and there are players who can inflict damage, who can create chances. Lukaku's in brilliant form. Lautaro and he have this wonderful kind of understanding. And the strength in depth on the bench as well, which with 5 substitutes is really important. You bring Christian Eriksen off the bench, that's a quality of player that I think Sevilla don't have in the same depth as Inter do.
Right, Alexis Sanchez as well should be fit and probably starting from the bench, ready to come on as and when is necessary. We'll talk much more about this game, of course, in the build-up to it in tomorrow's Club 2020 Daily. Rory, thank you so much, though, for being with us today. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Quick check on our poll. We were asking you which Bayern do you think is best. Your options are the treble-winning side and the Jupp Heynckes of 2012-13 beat Dortmund in Wembley. 38% saying that one. But a lot of people, 62% of you, reckon that this one that we're currently watching in action is the best Bayern ever. I'm not sure I disagree either. Very good. We've got loads more to come on today's Club 2020 Daily from the banks of the River Lee here in lovely Stratford. After the break, we're going to be talking about the Women's Champions League quarter-finals, which get underway tomorrow. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
All right, guys, I've got on this classic Inter Milan shirt. I want to know what player springs to mind when you see this beauty. Tweet us at #Club2020.
Welcome back, everyone. Ooh, nasturtiums in the sunshine in Stratford. It's a glorious end of London, this. From whence we bring you every day the latest news from this extraordinary concluding fortnight of the men's tournament and of the Women's Champions League as well, which is going to be starting off again from the quarter-final stage tomorrow. All, of course, live on BT Sport. We've got Atletico Madrid against Barcelona in the afternoon on Friday. On Saturday, 2 games for you. The one remaining WSL team in the competition, Arsenal, will take on PSG. And then on Saturday, it's Lyon against Bayern Munich, a familiar sounding fixture, that one. Already excellent stuff. Just before the break, Andrew Mensah was there with another of his many shirts from his wonderful retro wardrobe. It was the 1991-92 Inter shirt, classic one. Who does that make you think of, Chelsea?
For me, I mean, I was born in '92, so I wasn't watching football just then. But I was saying, Adriano, I don't know, the little bad boy of football. Every time I see an Inter shirt, as well as Ronaldo, I think of him. I
mean, that's not unlike Adriano. Late period Adriano. Yeah. That 91-92 team had an incredible collection of players. Lothar Matthäus, Andy Bremer, Jürgen Klinsmann. Oh, it was fantastic. Beppe Bergami at the back. And also... Walter Zenga in goal, fantastic. Names that mean nothing to you.
I mean, I think I was having a dummy in a bottle back then.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, here's a name that might mean a bit more. Lucy Bronze.
Yeah.
Of Lyon and the Lionesses, and European Player of the Year, and runner-up to Megan Rapinoe and the Ballon d'Or, and all those things. And with us today now on Club 2020 Daily, Lucy, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Not at all.
Luce? Have you just been to training then, or are you going? You've got your kit on?
Yeah, no, I've literally just finished. We're off to the airport in about an hour or so to catch the flight to Spain.
All right, so you're in Lyon at the moment, and then it's down to northern Spain because it's brilliant. Everyone's loved this kind of tournament structure that we've had for the Europa and Men's Champions League, and it's going to be exactly the same, or more or less the same, even more compressed, in fact, for the women. You've got 8 teams, 9 days worth of, again, straight one-legged knockout winner stays on football. It's a brilliant format to play in, I imagine, is it?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, you play this format for the World Cup and the Euros, and they're the most exciting tournaments that you play in. They're the ones that you wait for. So now we're getting to do that on a club level. It's exciting, and it like the men's, it makes it so much more interesting. Each game, nothing to lose. You win, you stay. You lose, you're going home. It's that simple.
Yeah, I know I spoke to you over lockdown as well. We used to say when we used to play as kids, but, you know, those day tournaments where it's just one for all, get them out. I think it's definitely more as exciting as a player to just carry it on, momentum. Well,
Lyon, they provoke so much fear among the competition because 6 European titles. You've won the last 4 competitions. You've been there for the last 2 of them, Lucy. What is it about Lyon that makes them just so unstoppable?
The president at Lyon, he's amazing, to be fair. Olas, he's brought in all the best players in the world. He just wants to have the best. And not even just our 11, like our squad is just crazy. The players that are in the squad. And it's been like that for, the last kind of 10 years. The Champions League is the tournament that he wants. Everything's planned for this club to win the Champions League for this women's team.
Pressure then. I was just going to say as well, talking about the squad, there's a few Scousers in there now, a few of the England girls. You know, my mate Alex is there and Nikita. Have you picked up any of the Scouse lingo yet? Or are they all turning French?
I think they all try to speak slower so everyone understands, but it's funny because obviously Jodie Taylor's from Liverpool, then them two are full-on Scousers. So we chat, the 4 of us, and the French girls go, "Are they speaking English?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "I don't understand." I said, "Yeah, I don't understand either."
I love it then, the sticking to the Scouse roots.
To be fair, I'm struggling a little bit here.
Sorry, James, I'll speak
slowly if you could. Yeah. Lucy, you turned up there and immediately won the Women's Champions League 2018 with that 4-1 victory over Wolfsburg, who, to be fair, you beat every season at some stage of the competition. How great a start was this?
Yeah, I mean, no pressure, but to come in and have to try and regain the trophy. And then, 90 minutes went by 0-0. But, it's great to be part of a Lyon team. And that is what they want to do, is to win the tournament. And I knew that coming to Lyon. I said that, I wanted to sign for this club because I knew I had the best chance of winning Champions League. And I wanted to get my hands on that trophy as soon as possible in my career.
And then the very next year, another 4-1, this time against Barcelona in 2019.
Yeah, a completely different game. All the goals came at the beginning for us. Just a goal fest in the kind of first 30 minutes, and yeah, just saw out the game at the end. Obviously, they scored at the end, but that was one of them days where, you know, everything just clicks for your team. Everything's just working, and I think the opposite maybe has happened for Barca.
There you are.
Yeah, a little
whipping in.
Little assist.
Yeah, I was actually at that game as well, and it was just like I was trying to hide for Barcelona at times because they were just so on top of them. The whole, like, it was just scary to watch. These were very, very, very good that day.
So
yeah, I think that's the experience of the team. Like, the girls have played in, I've won 2, but some of these girls have won 6 Champions League finals. It's crazy.
Well, so 4 in a row. If you were managing one of the opposition, how would you try and stop this Lyon team?
I can't say that.
Come on.
Play 10 up top.
Yeah, I mean, every team has their weakness. We just have very few, I think, and they're probably a little bit harder to find. But, you know, we're playing against a German team now, very organised, and I think that's probably, not that we're not organised, but we're a little bit more free-flowing, a little bit more creative, and we have quick defenders, whereas, you know, the Germans are going to be nice and organised, nice and compact. So it could be interesting, that game, kind of 2 different styles playing up against each other.
Well, yeah, and there's a certain amount of backstory to it as well after what's recently happened in the men's competition. Let's have a quick look at the potential route to the final for Lyon and the other teams in this Women's Champions League. Quarterfinals getting underway tomorrow. Your game on Saturday will be against Bayern Munich. I know that you guys train a lot and you mix a lot with, you know, close to the men's team at Lyon. Were you gutted for them yesterday? And what are the chances of revenge on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're really close with the boys' team here, and the club's just, you know, crazy for Champions League, and the whole city is just crazy for football. It's just one of them cities where, you know, they put everything into the football, both the men and the women's teams. So the city itself was gutted, but I mean, it's no shame to go out to Bayern Munich's men's team, and 3-0 wasn't too bad. They put up a good fight, but hopefully it's the other way around for us. And we get the win and we're sending Bayern home.
Yes.
We'll see. So, all right, when you look at that, I mean, we just saw the other teams there, the other 7 teams in the quarterfinals. Who stands out for you? Wolfsburg, who people rate highly. Arsenal, who've got a lot to do in this final tournament.
Yeah, I think Wolfsburg have to be one of the top favourites, having been made the final a few times. They're always kind of our closest rivals, but I mean, for us, we've got a big rivalry with PSG, who we could potentially face in the semi-final as well. We recently just beat them in the final, the French Cup final, in penalties, so that was a close game. But, you know, Arsenal have a long history of Champions League, but this is relatively new to them now. So it should be interesting to see. You know, I want the Arsenal girls to do well because it's the English girls. Equally, Atletico Madrid, now there's English girls there as well, so I'll be cheering on all the teams of English players.
Yeah.
That's who I want to win.
Same.
Yeah.
I hopefully, you know, I know Leah and Jordan at Arsenal there, so hopefully that would be, like, nice if you've got to play against them. And
Tony Duggan, now, you're a former teammate at Man City, at Atletico Madrid, and they put out Man City in the last round, but I mean, it's not been the greatest to build up for them because they've had, 5 positive tests for COVID ahead of their clash with Barcelona. So am I right in saying they haven't even been able to train for that game, really?
Yeah, from what I know, one of our goalkeepers is from Atletico Madrid. Not currently, but she just signed, so she knows them quite well. And yeah, I think they've been struggling to train. Obviously, they've had to follow the rules and be at home, I think, for a week or so. So, I mean, that's not the best preparation for the Champions League, but ultimately, you've got to put the health and safety of not only the girls, but the staff, the team, everything comes first. And that's what's happening there. In these days, this day and age now, it's the pandemic, it's coronavirus, and that's the more important thing than the football.
Are you back?
We're all negative.
Yeah, you're all negative. You're all back training fully, yeah?
Yeah, we've had no problems with it, to be honest. We've been tested regularly. We had our UEFA test yesterday, and you know, we had a meeting this morning about the rules to follow when we're over there. You're not allowed to leave the hotel at all, just for training, just for the games. Nobody's allowed in or out, which is the best thing. I mean, it might drive people crazy for people making the final, but it's the right thing to do.
100%.
Brilliant stuff. Lucy, thank you for being with us, and stick around. We'll be speaking to you again in a second or two, but while all this action's going on in northern Spain and Germany and indeed Lisbon, elsewhere, people are beavering away doing deals in the transfer market. Let's get the latest on that now with Fabrizio Romano.
Barcelona will try to keep Leo Messi for next season. At the moment, there are no talks with Manchester City or with Inter Milan. In this moment, they want to keep Messi to extend his contract. He's just 1 year left of contract with Barcelona. The player is going to listen what Barcelona will tell him about the situation of the project, but there are huge chances to see again Leo Messi as the star of Barcelona also the next season. Luis Suarez is one of the players who can leave Barcelona on this summer in the big revolution Barcelona are going to do. Ajax is in contact with his agent. They want to take him back after they had him in the past. Now want Luis Suarez as the main striker for next season. Ajax are the only one who in this moment are ready to make an important bid with the player. Talks are still on between Manchester City and Napoli for the centre-back Kalidou Koulibaly. Manchester City and Pep Guardiola wants another centre-back for next season, but there is still no agreement between Manchester City and Napoli. First bid from Manchester City was around 60 million euro. At the moment, Napoli are going to ask around 80 million euro to sell Koulibaly. Advanced talks are on for Kai Havertz from Bayern Leverkusen to Chelsea. The player is pushing, he wants to join Chelsea. Transfers is not easy because Bayern Leverkusen are going to ask 100 million euro to save their star player. But Chelsea have offered at the moment 80 million euro with add-ons. So we will see what will happen, but Chelsea are confident they can get Kai Havertz as their priority target for next season.
Fabrizio Romano there with the haves and have-ts. And, of course, it must be heating up in the women's game as well, the transfer window. We've still got this end thing here. But the weird thing is, actually, Lucy, that the women's teams in the quarterfinals, they're allowed to bring in the signings that they've made over the summer.
Yeah, I think there was so much movement in the women's games, and obviously we don't have this kind of same size squads as what some of the men's teams have, so it's a little bit different. And you know, financially as well, how you keep players on for 2 months or you sign in new players, it was a little bit of a mess. So I think it was just the easiest thing to do was the players that you've got now, play with those players.
All right, it does make sense when you put it like that. Great 9 days of football. Chelsea, who's your money on?
I mean, it's got to be...
You don't have to say. She's not here in the room with us.
No, I'm joking. It's got to be. Honestly, like I said, I was at the final last year and, you know, they are the top favourites, and you see when you watch them play, it's just quality all over the pitch. Yeah, the only way to get past Lucy, I think, would be, like I say about Van Dijk, pulling a hair or something like that. Because, honestly, just incredible. Yeah, great squad. I think if I had to bet, I'd put it on here. OK, and if it wasn't Lyon, Lucy, God forbid, who?
Oh, nobody.
Who are you most scared of?
Nobody. I think Wolfsburg, and you know, I think for us PSG is a rivalry, but I think most teams will probably be scared to play a Wolfsburg. I'd imagine. Right,
Wolfsburg that you've beaten for the last 4 seasons in this competition, yeah.
Yeah, but the last final against them, you know, it was 0-0, and then they took the lead as well. So it's interesting games when we play Wolfsburg. It's good games, and that's what we want.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we're hoping the whole tournament is going to be excellent. All kicking off live tomorrow from BT Sport, these quarter-finals. Very good. A quick update on our poll. We were asking you which do you think has been the best Bayern ever. The Jupp Heynckes vintage side that won the Champions League and the treble, indeed, in 2012-13. Slight increase there, 39% opting for that one. The Robin Ribéry era Bayern Munich.
Really big difference, though, yeah. I think it's after, like I said, you know, for me personally, when I watched them absolutely destroy Barcelona, I was like, wow, they're very good. So, yeah, I'd probably stick with the poll.
All right, OK. I think I might do too. All right, let's have a quick check on what's coming up over the next few days, because there's a lot of it. Tomorrow, we begin our Champions League, Women's Champions League coverage of the quarterfinals with that Spanish derby between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. Then in the evening, it's the Men's Europa League final. Sevilla looking for title number 6 in that tournament against Inter Milan. The Women's Champions League quarterfinals on Saturday are Arsenal, PSG and Lyon against Bayern Munich. And then on Sunday night, well, it's the Champions League final, isn't it? Brilliant stuff. PSG against Bayern Munich. Woof. All right, brilliant stuff. Lucy, listen, enjoy your flight down to northern Spain. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us today, and best of luck with the tournament.
Thank you.
See you later, Luce.
Cheerio. Chelsea, thank you very much as well for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Not at all. It's been a delight. Of course, we will return tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and we'll be looking forward to the big Sevilla-Inter clash and, of course, to the Champions League. Only 2 games to go now in this men's season. We've got our 4 teams now, just 90 minutes from glory. We'll see you tomorrow.
And Suso equalises. Sevilla are into another final. There comes Jose Martinez, that's 1-0. And it's 2-0. And Inter running away with this now. Inter will be trying to lift their first trophy in 9 years on Friday night against Sevilla. It's taken by Angel Di Maria and glanced in by Marquinhos. It's going to fall here for Di Maria, and they take the price. There's the cross, there's the net. Paris Saint-Germain are into the final. Oh, that's sensational! How on earth did that not go in? It's in now. Serge Gnabry. And Lewandowski gets his customary goal. Bayern Munich rolls relentlessly towards Sunday's final.